Hi YouTube. So I was just watching the video that Garantham made about the what he was calling the M7A1, and I have held off on making any kind of video about this because basically ever since this project started and I started hearing about it a couple of years ago, I just kind of knew it was bullshit. Because again, everybody knows they've been trying to replace the M4 for ever. And the thing is, they're going about it this time in like the most ridiculous way possible. So I'm just gonna go over a couple things for some lay people that don't really know, right? This here is this is a 14.5-inch 5.56 upper. You could say this is basically what I think a lot of the standard rifles out there are built like. To me, this is the as far as the modern standard goes, it's this free floated handguard, a multi-mount, fucking ambi, charging handle, and that's it. What really more do you need? Standard forged upper. All right. Now, what's the complaint about this? I mean, I guess they had some issues where they were in, some place that they, probably had no business being, fighting against people who were probably more determined than they were, and a little more pissed off than they were, and perhaps were also on drugs. And they were finding that the 5.56 cartridge out of a rifle like this, probably one not even as nice as, as cool looking as this, probably with a clamshell handguard and a, little, front sight gas block thingy there. They were having trouble stopping these people who were attacking them, who were probably on PCP or something like that. Thing is, 5.56, it's got a pretty decent amount of energy, right? But anyway, what are the downsides of the standard M4? I don't know, the buffer tube, the length of the gun, maybe, I guess, the ammunition, right? Those are like, I guess a couple things that you could update. So, okay, that's one thing. I'm going to show you this here. This is a Foxtrot mic FM15 Gen 2 upper. This is one of the build your own versions that I had built here in 300 blackout. As you can see, I had to chop the handguard there, try to make it look as nice as I could. Okay, now I've done videos on this. If you're not aware, this has just got a self-contained recoil system. It's just a short bolt, like you don't need a buffer tube, right? And this one is in 300 blackout, which is a pretty versatile cartridge, on the civilian market. Not bad, really. Could be better, but, it was one of the earlier attempts to, perhaps, maybe replace the 5.56, right? Now, the Sig Spear, what they did was they took this kind of thingy and made it as expensive as possible. So, in other words, not just a captured recoil buffer in the upper, but piston operated, and they made it in basically, basically the fucking, what they're trying to replace the M4 with, effectively is a glorified AR-10 in 6.5 Creedmoor. Except it's not 6.5 Creedmoor, because 6.5 Creedmoor you can go buy at a store. Even though, I have to say, if you were traveling the world, like you were in fucking Nigeria or something, for whatever reason, whatever decisions that you made in life that led you to be in Nigeria carrying around a rifle, I do not envy you for any amount of money. But yeah, let's just say you're out there looking for 6.5 Creedmoor. You're not going to find it anywhere. Nobody around you is going to have it. It's not going to be in a store. I don't think any of the NATO people are going to have it either. But let's take it another level and make it a special overpriced, overpressured version of 6.5 Creedmoor. Except it can't be 6.5 Creedmoor because that already exists. We need it to be 6.8. So yeah, nobody else is adopting this cartridge, by the way. Not Germany, not France, not the UK, nobody. Basically just us, right? And they're talking about abandoning the 5.56 altogether, which is, that's just really smart thing to do. Let me tell you what I would do real quick, just for the fun. Really, if I was going to sell the Army on a new weapons platform, really, it'd basically be one of these, actually. You know what? Imagine the amount of R&D and, let's just say, ironing out of issues that have gone into this stupid SIG spear thingy being put on this. Let's just say, for example, making it full auto capable. Improving this takedown system. This kind of sucks. I hate this. It'll fucking shoot you in the face. You need a tool to punch that in. It's not ideal, this. Okay, but I'm saying, as it is, this is like a, $450 upper, right? But anyway, one way or another, it's meant to work on regular lowers, and it can be chambered in whatever you want. So imagine you had this thing here, and you could have like this entire front end just snap off and put your 14.5 inch 5.56 barrel on there, right? And your little, think about it. How many fucking suppressors are out there now? If you're trying to make it where all your weapons are suppressed, put your little fucking K-can on your 14.5 inch, or, oh, that's too long? Okay, fine. We already have fucking, how many variants of the fucking M4 and the, whatever, the Mark 18. Put it 11.5 inch barrel. Have 5 different versions. Have a 14.5 inch classic. Have your 11 inch Spec Ops version. Have your 20 inch H bar, and have your fucking 300 blackout. Have a fucking integrally suppressed 300 blackout fucking front end, right? This is the kind of thing that would make sense, because you've already got fucking all these M4s, right? And it's like, you could even make a system, something like the Law Tactical Eric, or the Evolution Weapon Systems fucking drop-in bufferless thingy, in other words, eliminating the buffer tube is a good idea. I dig that. That's why I like these. But if you made it full auto capable, improved the takedown system, improved it a little, you know what I mean? Made it fucking quick change barrels, but it's still effectively a fucking M4 at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That would make sense. But no, imagine I actually got this job and I said, what would be great? Yeah, let's fucking get rid of the millions of these that we have. Just get rid of them. Fuck it. Just sell them to, I don't know. You probably can't sell them. You probably have to, destroy them or something. So, yeah, let's just get rid of all those, and then let's give everybody basically, AR-10s. Okay, well, not AR-10s. We want it to be, it's got to be fancier. So, okay, fine. A piston-driven, bufferless AR-10. Okay, fine. But, yeah, no, we're going to do it in a special caliber. Okay, fine. Okay, but we're gonna do it with a short barrel. Okay. And now it's like, okay, we're gonna do it with a shorter barrel and a smaller suppressor that doesn't really suppress it at all. It's basically just a flash hider. And what the advantage of that over having just that much more barrel and a really nicely built flash hider is, I don't know. I don't know how they imagine that's reducing gas. That makes no fucking sense to me. But yeah, I wouldn't build that gun if I was. I would have to be on drugs to build. If you gave me a bunch of money right now and said, build me a gun, and I showed up with a fucking 11-inch AR-10 with a can that's like 5.5 inches long, and made it in some fucking caliber you're never ever going to find, and that the life of the gun is like ridiculously short, and the parts to replace anything on that are impossible to get anywhere you go. Instead of just building you, like, I don't know, a Gucci M4, just could build you a Gucci M4. I could build you a cool bufferless M4 that you can make bullpup if you want. But I did that, I would expect to get my ass beat. You know, you gave me I don't know, it's just crazy. So you know what it makes me wonder? Okay, so that's my rant about the gun. Now here's my thoughts on what it actually implies. What does it really mean? Because it kind of indicates to me that it's like they're nerfing the army, right? Like they're nerfing the U.S. Army. But what if it really means they're scaling down everything, right? Because think about it, right? And I have a friend who used to be working as an armorer for the United States Navy SEALs. And I've been in their fucking armory, and I got to play with their shit. It was cool as fuck. And just something kind of occurred to me all of a sudden when I went in there. I saw this stuff, and I met one of these kids. He was like a kid, and he was younger than me. And it's like the whole point of these elite army guys is they just go in a small group, they get deployed to some place, and then they basically just do whatever, and then they leave. It's not like this, occupation scenario. So it's like, if that's what you were trying to prepare for, where it's just like, hey, you know what? We don't need fucking hundreds of thousands of guys to have these guns. We just need a couple thousand of these guys to have these guns. Maybe it makes sense. I don't know. I have to say, it is one of the most bizarre moves I've ever seen. Usually when something like this gets suggested, it gets just shot down. They'll spend a couple years, traditionally, right? This has happened a bunch. All these experimental weapons programs and stuff. Traditionally what happens is they get some money because they're like, okay, we're interested in this. They get some money, and then after however many years of fucking around with it, they're like, well, this just really isn't better than what we have. And it's kind of crazy to me that they're actually they're talking, at least Grantham in his video is talking oh, this is happening, we're doing this. They're actually going to do this. On one hand, it's I want to call bullshit, but it's I really don't know. If they really go through with it, it is a very interesting move on the government's part. And it definitely indicates something. I don't know. But, yeah, you could easily suggest really, what have they been doing for the last however many years? You know what I mean? They just keep upgrading the M4. And why wouldn't you? It's fucking dope, and the parts are everywhere, and everybody knows how to use it, and it's light, and the magazines are literally everywhere. You can take it anywhere. You can configure it to anything you want. The barrels are all over the place, right? So it's what would make sense to me as a sane person who's not on drugs would just be to make more futuristic upgrades for the M4. They use the same lowers. They use the same fire control groups. You know what I mean? They use, you know, it's like maybe just a different upper, but like maybe even just a different bolt carrier group. You know what I mean? There's so many things you could do. You know, like what I said. Literally, this is a great idea. I would love to do this myself, but literally, like just this, you know, with a quick change system here, better takedown system, you know, full auto capable, and just configurable, mission configurable. But really, you know what? This doesn't really outperform this. You know why? Because this is fucking tried and true. This is a workhorse. And you can fucking find 5.56 in any fucking country in the world almost. Alright? Anyway, that's my rant. I don't know. It got me thinking. I'm really wondering what this actually indicates if they actually go through with this. It could mean that there's some kind of serious restructuring going on as far as what the government's aims are for using the military or the size of military engagements or whatever. You know, it could just mean a scaling back in general, because it's like if you had a smaller army and you have this gigantic budget, then sure, why not just give them all like really cool guns that are really fucking stupid and nobody has ammo for, so if anybody takes them, you know, they can't use the guns without getting this crazy ammo that only we have. I mean, I can kind of see some logic in that, but that's more for like special ops things. But you know what, I realized that I don't know, it's got me thinking. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, thanks for watching.